All right, guys, I was out doing a little bit of yard work, so if I'm a little bit dusty, don't be too hard on me. I'm sure my hair is all crazy now, too. And for my fellow Canadians, everyone has seen what has been going on with this country in the past 3 or 4 years, and you'd have to be living under a rock not to see what is happening presently. I'm going to dive right into that. I'm going to do a couple video clips, kind of give you guys a little heads up at what's going on, what the video is going to be about, and then we're going to get right into it.
Canada's population growth stalled in the first part of 2025. Statistics Canada reports just over 20,000 people were added to the population from New Year's Day to the start of April. That's the smallest quarterly increase since late 2020 during the COVID-19 pandemic. The increase was so small, in fact, StatsCan said it amounted to 0.0% growth. Canada's population now stands at just over 41.5 million people.
Boxes, crates, and suitcases stuffed with anything.
This is all my stuff.
And everything.
Some pillows, some bedding, fridge over there.
It's move-in day for these first-year post-secondary students, and there's change everywhere, including in the number of international students on campus.
It is kind of sad. A lot of international students dream of studying abroad.
Here at Toronto Metropolitan University, among all first-year students, there's been a noticeable drop of international students, roughly 1,100 first-year students in total this year. More than 80% of those are from across Canada, with 17% from abroad, most of them from the United States.
So back in 2022, 2023, the pandemic's going crazy. No one knows what's going to happen from month to month. It was crazy. We had lockdowns, Real estate market was absolutely insane. I'm a real estate broker, and if you guys are new to the channel, you probably don't know that. For my older crowd, you know that already. So back in those days, to be perfectly honest with you, if you put a house on the market that was normally priced, it was not uncommon to get 10, 20, 30 offers on it. And this is coming from a rural community where I'm from. Larger cities, Toronto, Vancouver, Montreal, it was just absolute pandemonium. People were spending money like it was never going to stop. Average house price went up around $200,000. It was just a wild time. Zero sponsor me, damn it. I'm kidding. I need to get off this stuff. 2022 and 2023, the government decided to issue a bunch of 3-year visas for people to come over here. So we had a huge boom in immigration. Now, these 3-year visas were meant to be temporary, guys. They were never meant to be permanent. And what this did, it created this huge influx of people, officially propped up the Canadian economy. It boosted our GDP. Like I said, in real estate, people are buying houses like crazy, investment properties, they're buying cars, even video games. All of this stuff just went wild. There was so much more money, so many more people, and so much more activity in the economy. People that were buying this stuff, I really believe that they thought, the economy would just keep going like this forever. The businesses would always be busy. The housing prices would always steadily go up, and there would always be lots of good paying jobs in the economy. And that couldn't be further from the truth, guys. And this is definitely a failed experiment. Just for an example, on the real estate side, if you look at the market for condos in Toronto right now, it has flatlined. No one's buying these things. I think there's something like 6,000 or 7,000 current vacant condos on the market in Toronto at this point. Nobody's buying them, afford them. And the people that were, and number two, the people that were building these were banking on this immigration to keep going, economy to keep skyrocketing, and they believed that the prices would just keep going up. And history tells us, while the prices do go up, they do have dips as well, and we are currently in one of those situations. Now, this drop in net immigration has not happened in the past 150 years in Canada. Now, the number is only 0.2%. However, Canada has always been driven with help from immigration, guys. Now, this is going to have huge ramifications on everyday life. There's going to be less jobs. There's going to be less money. The housing market, if you are a buyer, this may help you. But if you are a seller, be in it for the long haul. Seeing that with my sellers, things are just sitting a long time, guys, and the prices are just not as strong as they used to be. What we're seeing is a correction in the housing market currently. A graph here. I'm going to pop it up on the screen here, and you're going to see how consistent our immigration was. We'd have our little ups and downs, but we'd usually be in this little butter zone that, it kept our population growing very slightly. We were bringing in skilled immigrants. The gaps in industries like healthcare, construction, and where people were needed, especially in the skilled trades, skilled professions, guys. Now you can see the huge dip here, basically back down to pre-pandemic here, just as the pandemic was starting. Now, I would equate this to a sugar high. You know, you're down here, you eat a chocolate bar, boom, your blood sugar's up here. And then once that chocolate bar wears off, guys, we go, and then when you crash, you actually end up being lower than you were initially before you ate the chocolate bar. And this is what is happening in Canada. It's just not a healthy environment for investors. It's not healthy for people looking for jobs. Really not healthy for the overall economy. We've really disrupted the fabric of our society by doing this, disrupted all of our government services from policing to healthcare to construction. All of these industries had a glut of people coming in and a glut of money just plopped in their laps, basically. And now that money is gone. And we're going to see quite the collapse here, guys, and it's going to get really ugly really fast. Now, Stats Canada believes we're going to have a net immigration loss over the next 2 years, and that really is pretty much unprecedented at this point, guys. It's been a long time since there's going to be a bust like we are coming into here. People need to plan for the long term because the economy is deflating, guys. Our GDP is down. GDP has actually been nosediving for quite a while now, and it's actually getting worse. So the standard of living is definitely going to go down here, no doubt about that. I think the silver lining here is seeing what mass immigration really fast, really big has done to the economy of the country. And it really is awful, guys. So I don't think the government would ever make this mistake again. I honestly don't know what their thinking was in the first place. I think they really just overcompensated for a lack of population growth. Now, can Canada recover? Absolutely it can. Can we get back to the glory days? You know, where there's lots of manufacturing and, you know, everyone's super comfortable in that. I really don't know. A lot of that is driven by world markets. Some of it we can control here, some of it we can't. So we're just going to see how that goes. But there is things we can do to better our economy, guys. We need to be shipping our resources worldwide. We need to get our infrastructure up and running better than it is. We need to spend the money on that. We need to control our debt a little bit better. You know, not spend as much, get our dollars value up more in the world market. Then Canadians have a bit better buying power because we are getting hammered from all sides, guys, whether it's grocery prices, housing prices, you know, the price of cars. Anything you buy has went up substantially in price. I went to the supermarket this morning just to grab a few things, just basically meal plan for dinner this week. For example, I usually pick up a couple cans of this peach soda that Marla likes, and it's literally went up 40 cents in the past week, like just for one can, you know. So I don't think we'll see a point where the products in our country deflate. If we can get inflation under control, if we can get through the growing pains of the silly immigration policy that we've been running the past few years, we will end up in a better place in the long run. But there's going to be a lot of pain until that happens, guys, and it's not going to happen quick, and it's not going to be easy. You know, everyone's going to end up sacrificing their standard of living here. Until we get back to the pre-pandemic levels, this is going to be brutal. So as you know, for anything, I can tell you now, I do sell online. My eBay sales are down. Locally, I sell some stuff, you know, real estate. All of that is down, guys, and that's just going to be the way it is for everyone. Count yourself lucky if you have a good, stable job and you can keep going. We're definitely going to push our kids to look into trades and stuff like that for the future and not push them into going to college or university and, you know, going into a mountain of debt to start off with in life because we just don't think it's a good idea. We plan on leaving all our stuff to them and hopefully they'll get a leg up on life. As it is right now, there's just so much wrong with the country that things need to change. Even find jobs at the moment, so in the future things do turn around here. This far in the video, I do appreciate it. It's a little off topic. Like I said, the channel does many different topics. Most of it's about eBay and gaming and my collecting. We do some hiking. I'm doing some current events and I'm doing some social stuff too. So just a little bit of everything. If you enjoy the channel, please give me a like. If you have any comments, I'd love to hear them below. Let me know. And as always, guys, if you haven't subscribed, I'd really appreciate it. And on that note, I'm going to go make some lunch. I'm going to get the house tidied up. The kids are going to be home soon. Everyone have an awesome fall. I'm looking forward to the Thanksgiving season. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.